I will always have a special place in my heart for the carnivore diet. It healed everything. It didn't heal it perfectly and it didn't happen overnight, but for me, it was the best choice. You can get better, rely on yourself. No one's coming to save you. I do know what it's like living with chronic illness and doing everything that you're told and doing it, following guidelines from your doctor and your nutritionist, and nothing works. And I do get infuriated when the treatment for, these treatments aren't changing. We have learned so many things since 1998. What's special about 1998? Well, that is the year that I was diagnosed with my Meniere's disease. Today, in 2024, the treatment path is exactly the same as it was in 1998. Think about all of the things and all the strides that we've had. I mean, hell, the internet, handheld supercomputers, and the treatment is exactly the same. Why are these people developing it? Is it because, I don't know, newsflash, maybe it's a metabolic issue. Maybe something is going on to cause this. My doctor said, we have no idea why this is. I went on to develop 3 more autoimmune conditions. So Meniere's, Graves' disease, rosacea, uveitis. 3 of those 4 are major. Never figured out why I started developing, having the inflammation in my eye, the uveitis. Well, I know what it was. It was my metabolism was a wreck. You got to look at your metabolism. It could be the difference of, a lifetime of chronic illness. However you do, correct your metabolism or get it back on track, who cares? But just look at that. Look at what is your metabolism. And, I always thought I had a really slow metabolism as I got older. Oh, that's just what happens when you get older. That's aging. And it's not. It's just not. It's when, my metabolism was slow after I hit, 38, 39, 40. It did not really have to do with my hormones. Yes, my hormones played a part, but what played the biggest part was my trash diet of junk food, processed food, fast food, and it was terrible. I will always have a special place in my heart for the carnivore diet. It healed everything. It didn't heal it perfectly and it didn't happen overnight, but for me, it was the best choice. I have food freedom. I don't smother my emotions in food and alcohol. I never think about drinking alcohol, and that's saying something. My anxiety and depression have just gone away. Now, I do still have a little bit of anxiety, but I lost a lot of weight. I lost all that inflammation. I got my hormones corrected and balanced, and that's saying something at 48, when I'm in perimenopause. My thyroid is maintaining. I will always have to take a thyroid replacement because I took a treatment when I was 30 that completely destroyed my thyroid and how it works because of that autoimmune. I'm completely deaf in my left ear and I have no vestibular system in this side which is like a balance system, because I had surgery for drastic treatment options. I had treatment-resistant Meniere's. I tried everything. I did everything they told me. I followed everything. And I would have done anything at 38 to alleviate the problem, but I really was too far gone. I do wonder, obviously, I'll never know, but I do wonder what would have happened if I had changed and addressed my metabolism. If someone had said, hey, maybe it's something to do with your metabolism. Metabolism is not just about what you eat and all that kind of thing. It's also lifestyle habits. Focus on stress management and, getting outside, getting in nature, spending time with your family, your friends, doing things that you enjoy. Not all just self-care all day, every day. In the last 16 months, I haven't been doing weight training or anything like that. I've lost over 30 pounds. I do walk and I want to do things. I realized about 2 years ago, my dad died unexpectedly in February, probably about June, July, August, September. I realized, it was really sinking in that I was getting older. I needed to lose weight. I needed to figure something out only because I needed to lose weight. So the first thing I did was somehow it came to me, and I did intermittent fasting, and I learned all about it. It was fantastic. It really helped me realize that I don't have to eat all the time. You don't have to eat 6-7 times a day. I don't think people should eat that much every day, that often every day. I'm not talking about restricting, I'm talking about timed, time it. So that worked for me as a foundation. I ended up having it felt like an allergic reaction. I've always had food sensitivities, but I didn't realize it. My body was just like on overload. I don't know if it was one thing or another thing, if it was stress, and if it was a combination of things. But thank goodness, because that led me into starting to look at diet. I ate something and I had a reaction. And I'm always going to be grateful that I did that, because it was finally like, oh, what I'm eating is making me sick. I'm reacting to what I'm eating. Something is wrong. Started doing some research. I found Mikhaila Peterson, and a lot of the things that she had struggled with, meaning the types of illnesses and the path of treatment, doing everything the doctors say, I thought, well, I'll try this. And I did that for 2 weeks. It spoke to me because I am all or nothing. I am either or. I am an abstainer. I do a lot better if I don't have it at all. That is what works for me. I can sustain that. It's been 16 months, almost 17 months. I can sustain that behavior. But I have a really strict routine. I am going to be mindful of that as I have some major lifestyle changes. There are going to be triggers. I'm going to have to figure out a new routine. And it's okay. I'm happy. I am not unhappy that I don't eat sugar and I don't drink alcohol and I don't eat, bunches of carbs and I don't eat a lot. Well, I do eat a lot. I'm okay. I'm happy. I feel the best I've ever felt. I was looking at old pictures of myself, like before I started gaining weight and, at different times. And really, since I was about in my 20s, I've never been this healthy, because, I wasn't really healthy no matter how you look at it at 23 when I got my diagnosis. That something is wrong. I'm always going to say, look at your metabolism first and get that figured out. See what you need to do to regulate and get your metabolic function to where it needs to be. Are you insulin resistant? You can look online and see what the 5 markers of metabolic health. Most every healthcare person will agree on what 5 markers you need. You want to make sure you don't have high blood pressure, that your HDL and your triglycerides are within an optimum range, which look it up. Don't worry about your total cholesterol. My total cholesterol is 369. Happy about it. Don't mind it. My hormones are great. So, your waist and height, circumference, if you are really big, if you carry a lot of extra weight in your waist, that is a marker for dysfunction. Like, my waist was big. I don't know what it was, but it was big. I had a lot of inflammation. That's where most of my inflammation was. That, my face, my trunk, well, it was all over. You can achieve that different ways. And it depends on what your health goals are. In the beginning, all I cared about was diet, but it went ahead and addressed my whole body. Some mistakes were made. I would have tracked my thyroid replacement supplement, and I would have tracked that better. But you live and you learn. You're not going to be perfect. If you try this or try, anything, you're going to have fails, but you can learn from them. That's what I did. And I did the work over and over and over and over. I didn't just get here. I didn't just say, oh, I'm going on a diet, and then 16, 17 months later be like, yeah, the diet's over. After 90 days, it was more of a lifestyle. After 6 months, it was more of it got easier and it got easier. But was it easy in the beginning? No, it was not easy. But I made those choices, and I messed up sometimes, and I didn't make the best choices. But I learned, and you will learn too. It's a lot of noise. You can start however you want. I'm telling you, This worked for me. I know this works for people. If you are really sick and really desperate and just low, just give something like this a try. I prefer, meat forward, meat centric, animal-based protein. You never do low fat. I did low fat. I tried all of those. I did, eating the rainbow, and I did all kinds of things. When I was young, I did different fad diets that are really fad, like grapefruit and cottage cheese for days, grilled chicken and green, not lettuce, not iceberg lettuce, but like romaine and spinach. I did all of that. I did lots of nuts and whole grains, and I did all that, and it made me sicker and sicker and sicker and fatter and fatter and fatter. It did not work for me. So just maybe try this. It might work for you. It worked for me. But I make the decision every single day to eat mostly meat, some bacon, some eggs. I don't eat chicken that much, but so just give it a try. What have you got to lose? Maybe some anxiety and some inflammation and some fat. You're never gonna know until you try. I started seeing benefits immediately. Inflammation was down. It wasn't gone, but it was down within days. And I started feeling better. My brain started working. My brain fog went away. I started waking up. I started sleeping through the night. I started going to the bathroom regularly. My hormones leveled out. My skin cleared up. My rosacea has cleared up. Sometimes I will have a flare up if I have a lot of dairy. I've been having a lot of dairy, but it's my choice. It's the way I treat. That's a treat for me. And what I have to, usually I get a little more redness and might get, a couple of blemishes. I haven't washed my face in over a year. Don't have to wash my face anymore. I splash water on it, but I don't wash my face. And I used to have tons and tons of product. You can do this. You can try it. Just try it and see what you think. Become your own science experiment. It's an experiment. That's what I did. I experimented with things over and over and over. I eliminated. I reintroduced a few things. I couldn't even handle pork in the beginning, and pork and cheese, bacon. Don't plan on reintroducing any kind of junk food or any kind of major, desserts. I don't care about a well-balanced diet. I don't care about fruits and vegetables. I have never eaten any fruits or vegetables again. I never ate many, I did eat them when I was told to eat them as an adult, that was the healthiest way, but it really wasn't for me. It was not. I've hit my goals of losing weight, and now my health goals are just to continue maintaining my hormones and being strong and having mobility, because I am, now's the time. Now is the time. It's never too late. I just did it. It was hard. If you want to, I'm also doing some work over on Instagram. You can go follow me on Instagram. It's carnivore.ally Instagram. I'm over there a lot more. I've been a lot more active. I'm trying to do some work and content creation over there. So that's where you can find me. We can talk about my hair. It's completely changed. We can talk about other things. Just give it a try. You can get better. Rely on yourself. No one's coming to save you. Bye.